Buckle up. You've been assigned project 3, a package design. How do you go about starting that project and getting to the point where you've got something that you know what to do next? Let me just kind of walk you through the process. I'm going to go quick on this video because there's a lot of little steps. I'll probably skip over a few and then come back and stitch a few things together so it's not like painfully boring. But anyway, you'll see. I'm sharing my screen. We're going to take a look in here at what's going on in Illustrator. What I know, as you know from Project 3, is that it is not nutrition facts, it's Project 3 packaging assignment. And we're supposed to make it 6 by 3 by 1. And you're supposed to put the logo and all these other things on there, including things like nutrition information, UPC, glue flaps, all those things. Let's switch back into Illustrator and start building those things. I've got my rectangle tool. If I just click with it, and I could say, well, how big do I want my rectangle to be? I'm option clicking 6, 3. 6 by 3 is my starting size. Now I'm going to do a few things here. If I hold down my command key or control on a PC, I get my cursor back. If I hold down option, my cursor says, you must want to make another one of those things, and I do. And if I go grab my shift key, it'll force it to go down straight along that line right there until it snaps into place like that. Now I can grab this bottom edge and pull that up until it says 6 by 1. Exactly. So that gives me the right size for that side, the front and the side. So now if I grab everybody here and do the same thing, option click, drag that down and snap it to that side, I've got 4 of my 6 sides right now, right? There's 6 sides on a box, like a dice. I'm going to option click here and say I want that one to be 1 by 3. I want it to be vertical rather than horizontal. And I can then snap that to here. I'm going to turn on my smart guides. Somehow they got turned off, smart guides. Because what those, oh, they are on. Okay, great. Those give you like a little hint as to whether you're lined up with what you want it to be or not. So I'm kind of happy with what's going on there. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides on my box. I'm in outline mode in case you're wondering. If I switch to preview mode, I get nothing because I haven't filled these with anything. What we are doing right now on this layer is construction. So I'm going to just call this constriction layer. Sometimes it feels like constriction. And put those in there and just kind of say, okay, at this point, I'm just roughing this whole thing in. I'm going to put some glue flaps down here, snap, snap, snap. And these don't have to be anything in particular. I'm just building these kind of roughly to say that's about how I would do this. So I'm going to grab that whole thing, clone it, drag it over to this one. So I'm more or less happy with where that is. And then what I'm going to do is use my rotate tool. I could also use the reflect tool and go to the center of that box and say 180 copy. Oh, I didn't grab both of them. Okay, that's all right. I'll do it this way. Go to those, go to that one, get that one, get that one. Now I've got 2 over here. I don't want 2 over there. Snap, snap, snap. Good. And then throw one of these guys away. Okay, now what I need are 2 more glue flaps with the pen tool on this side right there so that my candy doesn't fall out of the side of the box. Doink, doink, doink. Again, I'm going to grab that. Whoop, not that, just the whole darn thing. So you have to kind of think about how you're using your tools and make sure you got the right one. Rotate that guy around, put it on the side here. I'm using my shift to make sure it stays straight. And then I need 1 more down here at the bottom. And I can again use my rotate tool to do that, put that back up here right at the bottom so it doesn't fall out of the end. And then you'll see that those last 2 points are not in the right spot. With my white arrow selected, and nothing else, I can get that point, and then pull that over to there. So that lines up with that. Okay, as I said, I'm pretty happy with that, but that's my construction. So I'm going to lock that layer, make a new layer once zoom is out of the way. Is that zoom ever not in the way? New layer, die line. So there is, if you want to build a die line like crazy, great. There's a whole video on how to do that in eConestoga. But if you find yourself thinking, yeah, I just want to kind of, build something quickly that I can use, there are 2 parts to it, the cut line and the fold line. The cut line is an outside perimeter that will cut every shape that's on here. The fold line is on like that, a dashed line that says don't cut it, just fold it, score it right here. So we'll do both of those things. So I'm not doing a very careful job here because I'm trying to go quickly. You, on the other hand, are going to go very carefully and make no mistakes whatsoever. But what I want to do is basically get the outside perimeter of this box, because this all has to be cut out with a sharp knife. So that's how this gets done. They put it on a stamping press with a big wooden steel rule die, and they punch these pages out one after the other. So now if I grab that, I've got that shape, and I can give that in my stroke menu a stroke and say, now I'm kind of happy with that. Okay, now what I want to do is start putting the lines inside. I'm going to again use my pen tool, and I can go from like here to here to here to here and get 3 of those edges right there. I have to zoom in a bit so I can get the right one. Right there. Let's say. Not quite perfect, but you get the idea. What I want to do is get into my stroke menu, which lives down here, strokes right there, and turn on dashed lines. 6-point dash, 6-point gap, let's say. What's that look like? Looks like that. So now my printer can tell I'm supposed to make this a fold line. I'm supposed to make this a dash line. And then you can go through the whole rest of the box. So I won't bore you to tears by doing that, but that's the idea. We're going to make those lines dash lines. We're going to make those lines fold lines, and the outside lines are cut lines, okay? Now I'm going to make another new layer and say, well, we're going to call this base color. You know I didn't finish the die lines, but you're going to. Base color is another one. I'm going to lock my die line. In fact, I'm going to put base color underneath my die line because I want to be able to see through it. You know about bleed, that the ink has to go past the edge that's going to get cut. Same thing is true here. So if I want to make a box here that's going to be filled with color, I want to go outside the edges that are going to get cut off. So I'm going to do something like that and go maybe like that, and my smart guide tells me I'm directly underneath that one. Great. So this one, I want no stroke on it whatsoever, and I want to fill that with some crazy pattern or my wallpaper or whatever, something like that. The die line is filled with white. I'm going to lock that one, unlock this one, select all, and fill with nothing. So now I can see what I'm doing there. So as you can see, what I've got now is a box that I've got a die line that will cut out solid with fold lines on it. And now underneath that, I've got my base color. And then what I'll do lastly is make a new layer for type and art. And put that one above this and put on things like my logos and my nutritional facts and things like that. I think what I'll do is stop there, and then I'll come back and we'll make a video about populating it. So this is just a construction one. I will see you soon. Hope you're doing okay. It's a lot.